performance in the bed is something a lot of men think about. You want to be good in bed.
Yeah.
And I think premature ejaculation is something that's very common in a lot of men. I think it's something that's not spoken about, and I think it's something that men need to work on.
Okay.
Because
Be honest, has that ever happened to you before?
For sure, 100%, 100%, bro. If I'm not careful, it can happen at any time. If I'm not careful,
Stop this right
for
now.
sure.
Stop this right
You,
now.
you can't. You can say no. You're good all the time.
Premature ejaculation. We talking about like fully like things like happen.
You bust too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bust too quick. Yeah, that's happened before.
Yeah.
That's happened before.
You didn't perform well.
I'm talking about like like everything. Has that happened before?
Oh no.
That happened to me
No.
before.
I don't think
that
so.
happened to me before.
Really?
Well, okay. Let's back up.
Like just like thinking like.
Well, things were happening.
Yeah.
And it was a while.
Mm.
I was also maybe like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And
okay, probably.
there's some grind
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
I was like,
Yeah.
Shit.
A little dry humping or something. Yeah,
like,
nothing's really
what
going on.
happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when I say premature ejaculation,
one time that
I think a lot of men
Embarrassing moment.
just bust too quick these days. There's a lot of men busting too quick. I think it's a very common problem, and I don't think it's supposed to be that way. I don't think it's supposed to be that way.
What do you mean?
I think men are supposed to last a lot longer in bed, and I don't know if it's like the porn that did it to us.
I disagree.
I don't know if it's.
I don't think men are supposed to last that long.
No.
Well, like in the animal kingdom, which animals are fucking for? Well, pardon my language. Which animals? Like, there's only a few that like last very long. The purpose of like that happening is to like procreate. So it's like you ain't supposed to be like going forever.
Not forever,
right.
but you're supposed to get a good solid 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the 2-3 minutes.
The two pump chump.
Yeah. That shouldn't happen.
That should be.
That's what I'm talking about.
Really
That's what I'm talking about when I say
not
premature
really
ejaculation. The really, really quick session.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be happening. And
unless you want it to happen, you're like, look, we ain't got time.
No,
we ain't got time.
There's gonna be.
You know what I'm saying? Your parents is coming over in exactly 5, and we still got clothes on.
There's gonna be those times, those super heated times where the quickie is acceptable. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
A quickie could mean like it happens, but you don't finish too. So.
Yes.
Because that's definitely happens too. When the quickie, for me, again, like I said, I get sidetracked. So if I know like, oh, we don't have any time, and I'm like, I'll just be like, oh, I can't have it. It can't happen. Here's the thing, if you think that you're not gonna come, like,
oh, you're done.
Like,
if you think about it too much,
if you're thinking, oh my god, like, if you think like, oh my god, I'm not gonna come or like whatever, then it's the other way around. If I'm there thinking like I'm trying to come, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But if here's the trick though.
That's funny.
If I'm there thinking like, oh, like don't come, then it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. And then when you're like, okay, I'm ready. Where is it?
You're there just like.
But then those are the good ones, bro.
Nothing happening. Nothing happening. You're like,
funny.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm glad you had a good time because I'm here. I'm here spent. I just had a heart attack. My heart exploded. I just did like my high intensity cardio for the day and nothing.
I think there's a lot of dudes who just are 1-minute men. They bust too quick.
Yeah.
And I want to blame.
You think it's porn that does that?
I'm gonna say it's porn and like jacking off is a lot of you're jacking off at home, whatever. Somebody's home, you're trying not to be heard. You do it quick to get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not really like enjoying it. Like when you enjoy sex and enjoy the process, and you're not thinking about busting too quick or whatever, and you can just kind of be in the moment. That's when it's the best.
Okay.
But jerking off sometimes you're just trying to get it done, boom, and then you get used to that, right?
Okay. So I think on that like thought or whatever, I think it would be the opposite because you're so overly like sexualized, like overstimulated with porn that basic sex is not cutting it for you. So it doesn't like it's hard for you to come. That's what I would think would happen.
Potentially.
You said something else just now too.
I think
sex, like sex. I think that I think you can still get distracted, like, and come quick even when you're trying to, like, you could be so in the moment that that's actually speeding it up.
Yeah.
That you're so just like, someone's gonna know what's up when you can smell the person and you can taste the person and you, like, every sense is appealing to you.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
so different.
I agree.
And sometimes, like you said, being so into that moment, like, that doesn't happen. And sometimes being so into that moment and all of those things clicking just amps you up so much that it happens faster.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Well, here's the main point of the story.
Yeah.
Make sure she comes first. Okay. Make her nut first. Okay.
Some girls would be hard as shit, like, man. Some girls you be, I'm gonna come. And you're like, girl, you've been saying that the last 10 minutes.
Make sure she nuts first.
You've been
man.
saying that the last 10
Make
minutes.
sure she nuts first. But at the same
the problem
time,
is, though, I think that when girls say that, a lot of guys think, like, they change it up or think, oh, I should go faster now or do something different. Nah, bro, do this. Whatever got you there, just do the same thing.
Yes.
Don't try and switch it up.
Yeah.
Don't try and
keep that rhythm.
Don't try and
Keep that rhythm.
Talk some outlandish shit at that point. Don't try and think you're Superman. You ain't shit, okay, at that moment if it don't happen. So just stay in your lane and stay the course.
Keep the
you
rhythm.
are not Clark Kent. You ain't Superman. You ain't Batman. You are you until that shit happens. Then you can say whoever you want to be after that. Right? Would you not agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Keep the rhythm.
Okay.
Keep it going.
Keep the
Make
rhythm.
her
Right?
come first. Very important. And then you enjoy.
I just, for me personally, like, that to me, that's what gets me.
Yeah.
So, like,
Oh yeah, it's a huge turn on. It makes things so much better.
like, if you don't want me to come, don't say you're coming.
Oh,
girl?
okay, that's what you mean.
Yeah, as a girl, like,
okay, yeah.
if you
That can
don't
happen
tell me
sometimes.
you're coming if you don't want me to come.
Yeah, but you know, especially if it's a woman you've been with before,
my point
you
is,
know.
like, how
And
it's a turn on for me, you know?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's why I'm like, keep your mouth shut until, like, after you come.
But it's just as
or
bad.
as it's happening.
Okay, it's just as bad. I'm going to try to choose my words carefully so this doesn't get flagged or something. But when, on top,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's the same thing because you're like, oh, crap, it's coming. I got to make sure I don't, you know what I mean? I got to make sure. I got to hold out. I got to hold out because I don't want to ruin it, you know? It's the same thing almost.
It's
and
true.
then if she were to add in, then
Oh, you done. You done. Good night. I'll see you in the morning, babe. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. It was a good night. Babe.
We're too real. We're too real.
You want some juice? You want some juice? You want a water? Let me go get you a hot rag.
And that's why she comes first, bro.
Bro. Yeah, man. That's
comes
what it is.
first.
But you know what, too? Like, so what I didn't know is, like, when the dude is coming, like the throbbing and stuff, sometimes we'll get the girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they know, like, I think.
And then
okay,
and then they come from that. They're like, oh, like, that's hot, right? Like, I can feel that. And yeah.
Yeah, because at the same time, it's bomb bizzle. It doesn't always happen. When that happens, it's bomb bizzle. Bomb bizzle. You see what I'm saying? And I guess if that throbbing, you know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
that covers that.
No, it doesn't, because I've been looking. I've been looking into something else recently.
What?
Semen retention.
Yeah.
So obviously, this is a way to help yourself if you're someone who suffers from like premature ejaculation. You bust too quick. You practice semen retention.
Yeah, I feel like we've been doing that anyway with, like, because we both have stopped, like, masturbating and watching porn.
Yes.
So I feel like that's what it is.
Yes.
And bro, sometimes it's like, pause, it's hard.
Yes.
Like it's like you wake up some morning.
Are you still?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I have not masturbated.
It gets easier
in forever.
It gets easier.
Very long time.
It gets easier. Like, there are some hard days, but it does get easier to, like, deal with it.
Yes.
Like, you know when it's going to happen. You know, like, when the urge is going to get strong. So you're like, before that happens, let me get out of bed, or let me do this, or let me do that, because I know what's happening.
Yes.
Or what I'll do, again, because I'm in my zone right now, I use that. I'll be like, you know you're going to have a shit workout if, like, this happens. Or, you know, like, when I'm with my girl, like it ain't gonna be as nice. So just save it for her.
So I'm going to talk about the next step to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a thing. This is just something I've been concurring up in my head.
Yeah.
I heard, a couple little things and that, but you being the very scientifical expert that you are and the bookworm, you may go out and research some stuff and be like, no, that's BS. No, it could work, whatever.
Okay. I
But
probably am. Probably am going to do that.
Right?
So let's hear it.
So like, you could do what we're doing, don't watch porn, don't masturbate. But what if like, we masturbate or have sex and we get to that point, because this is semen retention, right? This is how you practice not coming to quit. You get to that point where you're going to.
And stop.
And yes, you stop and you don't ejaculate because you can almost, no, sorry, I'm not going to say almost. There's some people that say that you can have an orgasm, redirect it without actually letting your semen out, right? So instead of it just coming out, you keep it in. And the benefit is that, you know what?
Bigger load. when you ready to blast off, it's like a friggin' machine gun. That's what we talking about right now. That M5, that Call of Duty M5 with the short stock grip and suppression fire muzzle.
Yes, yes, this is true. Yes, this is true.
I'm on one right now. I am on one.
But like, so not to get like too spiritual about it or whatever, but like us, going in, we have that to create life, right?
Yeah.
It's a very cool thing that we have. You're into biology, whatever. The fact that we can exert this stuff from our body and go into a woman and create a life
is wild.
Incredibly wild.
It's wild.
So that's a lot of energy from us.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Our energy.
There's life
that we have.
When you think about it, right?
Yes.
It's crazy that we just like shoot that into a piece of tissue paper. That's
this is
wild when you think about it. That is wild when you think about it.
And I don't know like if it has that much nutrients. I know it has some nutrients, whatever. You have how many hundreds of thousands of sperms inside one shot, whatever it is, millions, hundreds of millions. Yeah. That's wild. So this is a piece of us, a piece of our soul that we're just, like you said, putting into a tissue paper.
Yeah.
This thing that's supposed to create life, right? These people in the Bible were having hundreds of kids, whatever, right? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But the fact that we're just like wasting it.
It's wild.
So what if it was better for us to get to that point, still have our orgasm, redirect our orgasm, right, into our body, have a body orgasm.
I don't think I have that type of discipline.
keep our semen in. Is it beneficial for us? Is it beneficial for
Whether
us?
it is or it isn't. When I'm looking at my girl,
yes.
I'm not saving. I'm like, look at this.
Listen.
Look at this fine specimen.
Yes.
She getting all of it. She getting all of this life juice. She getting all of this life juice. So getting it in, on, everywhere.
I'm going to challenge you.
Life, babe.
I'm going to challenge you.
All right.
Look at us and see if there's any benefit to this.
Okay. I could see
if there's
that.
any benefit because I'm going to be honest.
I kind of I looked at it a little bit and I've heard a little bit, but I haven't dived deep into that before.
So I'll be honest.
That's in tantric stuff too.
Did it for about a week. For about 1 week, I practiced this. Yes.
Yeah.
All machine gun. Right? But I will tell you, I wanted to keep it going. So when I did
you looked at your girl and you're like, nah, this is like, it was too fine.
It was hard as hell.
You were too fine.
It was hard
for me to continue doing this.
Let me tell you though, I was disappointed in myself after.
Really?
Yes, I was disappointed.
But that's because
it was something I was trying.
That's all.
And I let myself down.
Yeah.
That's why I was disappointed.
So it's just about the commitment thing, like the gym thing that I was talking to you about.
Yes.
But it's not the act. It's just because you made that commitment.
And let me tell you something else that happened after. I felt dumb. Like,
Dumb.
I was like because during that whole week as I was practicing this, and
Yeah.
I wasn't just staying away.
Yeah.
I was having consistent sex. And
But
not,
stopping yourself.
and not busting.
You are a wild dude, man.
For a week I did it.
You a wild cat, bro. You was a wild cat,
I was
man.
doing it for myself to prove that I'm master of my stuff and I can control.
See, I talk about being a master and shit, but then
Bro,
you say something like that, I'm like, I'm no master, bro. You can have all that junk because it's time for me to go.
It's time for you to
time
go.
for me to go.
No,
time.
I did it, bro, and I got to a point very quickly where like I could have some sort of like. I wasn't like craving it after. Like I could have sex, not bust, and still like have like some sort of orgasm where I wasn't like my dick standing up like this walking out the bedroom, right? I was good. I'd be like, no, I'm good now. Let's go again in a few hours. You know what I mean? Like, or let's go again tonight or whatever it may be.
Did you feel that you were like having sex more though because you weren't satisfied?
I was definitely having sex more, but I think it was because I was literally trying to do this project.
So
I was trying to test myself.
Challenge
I was trying to challenge myself, and I'm like, let's see what happens here, right? Am I not going to be able to do it? Is it going to change me? Like I said, this whole thing and staying natural, and I wanted to see like what it did for me, and I felt very sharp after. I felt very sharp, very on point. I didn't get aggressive or anything like that. Like I was very happy.
I could see a lot of that.
I had a lot of energy.
I could see a lot
of energy.
I know, and that's why I don't like. Even with the gym thing, I'll be like, you can't because you're gonna want to like shut down. Like we fall asleep after. Like once you put in the work, you fall asleep after.
Yeah, and that's when I saw when the machine gun came.
Yeah.
And I felt dumb after.
You're like,
I was lethargic. I was lazy.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't remember where I had to go, but I had to go somewhere. I was like,
I don't really want to go.
I'll go home, chill, man. Like I was too relaxed, and I didn't have that edge anymore. I didn't have that. You know what I mean? I didn't have that Viagra. I didn't have. You know.
I think. Funny enough, I think that being away from that stuff long enough for me is what actually got me back into the gym. Because the drive to do things started to go back up. And again, that's also what I use to keep me away from it now because I know like, oh, I know what this did to you before and you lost your drive, you weren't doing this, you weren't doing that. So as much as you might want this immediate satisfaction right now, like it's going to stop you. Like maybe it won't stop me, but it will take a little bit of that edge off, right? It will take a little bit of that hunger, a little bit of that drive off. Not only the drive in the gym, but the drive to like do that with my girl or see my girl or please her or whatever. It will stop me. Like I was having this conversation with somebody else and I was like, I think that like when you don't have that, when you're not having that immediate like satisfaction, you have this innate like self-conscious thought of like I want to be a very high prospect and I got to do that by going out and doing shit. So that's just how my brain thinks anyway. So there's that. And I felt like now like I just kind of look at it as like a little gross and weird.
Yeah. Me too. Same. Why need to do that?
And it's so weird though, because even though I look at it as gross and weird, like still sometimes I'm like, I kind of want to do that right now. Which is so screwed up to me.
Yeah.
But
especially
those
if
are
you
some
think
of the
yourself from like the third perspective. Like, what are you doing, bro?
What are you doing, man? Got your phone out. Get up, man. Go make some food, man. Go make some food. Go clean your car. Like, get to the gym.
Get your life together, get a girl.
Like, Go learn a trade or go trade some socks or something. Do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like again, sexually, I feel like, the other thing is too. This was like a huge one for me. Is like, and my girl does her thing, right? But to me, I'm like, I feel that it's not going to satisfy me enough. like when you're with a person that you care about and stuff, like I've had really good sex, and then I've had like good sex with a connection with somebody, and they're so different.
Oh yeah.
And then once you have like good sex with a connection with somebody, good, even great sex is like, this had satisfied me kind of like really in the moment, but it didn't really itch the itch. It kind of just like brushed your hand over the itch.
Yeah.
It doesn't really scratch it. Yeah. So you're still left like, I need more. I want more. And then it just becomes like you're just trying to grasp it more because you're not getting what you really need, right?
Yeah.
So you'll start watching more porn or whatever because you're like, I'm still not getting to connect with somebody.
Yeah.
Right? I'm still not having what I actually want. I'm looking at it from the visual aspect and the physical aspect, but there's another part, there's another dimension, whatever you want to call it, that I need for me to truly be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, right? I agree with that, because like there's the times where it's just like penetration almost, but there's the times where like every little touch.
That's we talk about that, right?
Every little touch is just like the whole thing is an orgasm,
right?
You know what I mean?
It's everything. It's how the sheets feel, how her skin feels, the smell, her hair, like, everything. And you're noticing these like so many like little things, and you're just like, holy shit, like, this is it's it just doesn't become like what's happening down there, like that feels good, but everything else is part of it, right?
Yeah, so it enhances it. It makes it so much better.